Imagine a world 12,000 years in the past. Humanity, as we understand it, is still in its infancy, a scattered collection of nomadic hunter-gatherer tribes, following herds and seasons across a wild, untamed planet. They haven't yet learned to farm, to forge metal, or even to create pottery. The conventional narrative of our history tells us that complex society, monumental architecture, and organized religion were still millennia away, awaiting the spark of the agricultural revolution. But what if that entire timeline is wrong? What if Tese primitive people, armed with little more than stone and bone, accomplished something so extraordinary, so impossibly advanced, that it completely shatters our understanding of the ancient world? What if they built the very first temple on Earth? A sprawling, megalithic complex that predates Stonehenge by 7,000 years, and the Great Pyramid of Giza by a staggering 8th. This is the story of Göbekli Tepe, the 12,000-year-old enigma. According to everything we thought we knew about our own past, simply should not exist. For millennia, this world-altering secret lay dormant, buried beneath a man-made hill in the sun-scorched plains of southeastern Turkey. Locals call the rounded mound Potbelly Hill, or Göbekli Tepe in Turkish, believing it to be little more than a medieval cemetery. It wasn't until 1994 that DIC long-held assumption was completely overturned. A local Kurdish shepherd, while tending his flock, noticed a series of unusually large, rectangular limestone blocks protruding from the dusty earth. His curiosity piqued. He alerted the local museum. This simple, accidental discovery would trigger a chain of events that would force historians and archaeologists to tear up their textbooks and start again. When the late German archaeologist Klaus Schmidt first visited the site and saw the tops of these immense T-shaped pillars, he knew instantly that this was no ordinary find. He recognized the distinct style from a nearby site and realized, with a sense of awe, that he was standing on the precipice of something unimaginably ancient. He knew he would spend the rest of his life excavating here, uncovering a mystery that had been silent for over 10 millennia. What he and his team began to unearth was a structure of breathtaking scale and sophistication, a stone sanctuary that defied all logic. As the digging commenced, the true scale of Göbekli Tepe began to emerge from the earth, and what was revealed was nothing short of astounding. Archaeologists have so far uncovered at least 20 distinct circular enclosures, each one a stone circle of monumental proportions. At the center of these enclosures stand pairs of colossal T-shaped pillars, some reaching nearly 20 feet in height and weighing up to a staggering 20 tons. These monolithic giants are not crude, unworked stones. They are intricately carved with a menagerie of powerful animals: vultures, scorpions, snarling foxes, wild boars, and venomous snakes writhe across their surfaces, depicted with a level of artistic skill and symbolic depth that seems utterly out of place for its time. The pillars themselves are highly stylized, believed to represent anthropomorphic figures, with abstract hands and arms carved into their sides, as if these stone beings are silently watching over the sacred space. What makes this even more mind-boggling is the sheer logistical challenge. The limestone was quarried from a nearby outcrop, carved with flint tools, and then transported and erected without the aid of draft animals or the wheel. It was an engineering feat that would be impressive even today, yet it was accomplished by people we once considered to be simple hunter-gatherers. And perhaps the most shocking revelation of all is that what we see today is just the tip of the iceberg. Decades of excavation have uncovered only about 5% of the entire site. Recent ground-penetrating radar and geomagnetic surveys have painted a picture of a vastly larger complex, still sleeping beneath the soil. These scans show hundreds of additional pillars, and at least 15 more similar enclosures, suggesting a sprawling sacred landscape that was used for generations, its full extent and purpose still a profound mystery waiting to be unearthed. The very existence of Göbekli Tepe turns the established timeline of human civilization on its head. For generations, we have been taught a simple, linear progression. First came agriculture, around 10,000 years ago. This revolution allowed nomadic hunter-gatherers to settle down, create stable food supplies, and form villages. Only then, with surplus resources and time, did complex society, organized religion, and monumental architecture emerge. Göbekli Tepe demolishes this theory. It was built before the invention of agriculture, before the domestication of animals, and even before the creation of pottery. This suggests that the narrative might be reversed. It wasn't agriculture that led to civilization. Perhaps it was the profound spiritual need to come together and build something magnificent like Göbekli Tepe that spurred humanity towards settlement and, eventually, farming. The builders may have needed to organize a large, stable workforce to construct this temple, forcing them to develop new ways to feed everyone, planting the first seeds of the agricultural revolution. It suggests that it was belief, ritual, and a shared cosmic vision that were the true catalysts for civilization. Further analysis has revealed another layer of staggering complexity: astronomical alignment. Some researchers propose that the central pillars of certain enclosures are aligned to specific points on the horizon, possibly tracking the rising of stars, like Sirius, which would have been a significant celestial event around 10,500 BC. An even more dramatic theory, based on carvings on a pillar known as the Vulture Stone, suggests the site may be a memorial to a devastating comet impact that triggered a mini-ice age known as the Younger. The symbols, they argue, represent constellations and a record of this cataclysmic event that reshaped the world, a celestial message carved in stone for future generations, after more than a millennium of continuous use, expansion, and ritual activity. Something truly bizarre happened at Göbekli Tepe. Around 8000 BC, its creators began to deliberately bury their magnificent temple. This wasn't a slow process of abandonment or decay. It was a conscious, monumental effort. Over the course of many years, they painstakingly filled every enclosure, burying their massive pillars and sacred art under 500,000 tons of dirt, stone, and animal bones. It was as if they were putting their entire spiritual world to sleep, entombing it for eternity. Why would a society spend centuries building such a breathtaking complex only to intentionally hide it from the world? The reasons remain one of the site's most profound mysteries. Perhaps their beliefs changed, a new religion superseding the old. Perhaps it was a final, respectful act to protect the site from desecration. Or maybe, as some speculate, they were preserving it, creating a time capsule for a distant future that would one day rediscover their legacy. Whatever the reason, this act of deliberate burial is what preserved Göbekli Tepe in its pristine state for 12,000 years, allowing us this unprecedented window into our own deep past. The discoveries are far from over. As recently as 2025, new findings continue to emerge, adding fresh layers to the enigma. Archaeologists have found skulls that show evidence of complex surgical procedures, including deliberate carving and drilling, suggesting advanced medical knowledge or unique ritual practices involving human remains. Even more tantalizing, recent surveys have detected a massive, hidden rectangular structure, larger than any of the known enclosures, still completely buried. What secrets does this giant, undiscovered part of the temple hold? The mysteries of ancient Anatolia run deep, far deeper than a single hill. Göbekli Tepe might be the oldest temple, but it's not the only marvel hidden beneath the Turkish landscape. The same impulse that drove people to erect megaliths on a hilltop may have also driven them underground, seeking refuge and community in the very rock beneath their feet. Next week, we journey from the world's first temple to a subterranean wonder that defies belief. We will descend into the depths of Göbekli, a sprawling underground city carved 8 levels deep into volcanic rock, a labyrinthine metropolis complete with ventilation shafts, wells, and living quarters designed to house up to 20,000 people. Join us as we explore how and why an entire civilization took to living beneath the earth. Mysterious, atmospheric music swells and then fades to black.